Ferdinand spent 7 years sleeping under a tree near the Danube River in Vienna, Austria. He was homeless and hurting, but Ferdinand saw an opportunity to change his life, and he took it. In the center of the city, this ADRA-operated center of influence meets the needs of the homeless and refugee population.
Yes, this is a center of influence where we take the people from where they are with their needs, from the street, refugees, and we do integration work for the refugees. We give German courses, the language courses in general, and we help them with government issues, with papers and forms to get registered here. They get also food, they get clothes, and also be included in a social environment where they start to regain their self-esteem and become a part of our society.
Yeah, here you are in the room of our clothing distribution. We have this room open for 2 days per week, 1 day for women and children, 1 day for men. And they can come here, they can apply and get any clothing they need for their everyday life.
In addition to the clothing distribution, a major event of the week is the food distribution. People come to have a meal together, take food for their families, and have a place to feel safe. Ferdinand had little hope of improving his life. Each day he visited various social projects around Vienna that gave food to the homeless. Every day was the same, until one day he went to the center of influence run by ADRA. He thought that something was different about this place. In a city where everyone seemed too busy to notice him, Ferdinand felt genuinely welcomed in this center. Over time, he kept coming back, and the center felt more like home than anywhere else. He began volunteering at the center and had some ideas on how to improve their services. He was given responsibility and started a paid job. His life was totally transformed, and he developed a relationship with Jesus. Now, Ferdinand serves as a full-time project manager for the center, touching lives every single day. He understands the needs of the people and is a symbol of hope to others. The staff here shares a spiritual message to those who are open to learning more about Jesus. They offer a Bible study on Saturday afternoons to anyone who is interested. Their group is growing each week.
Well, compared to the traditional understanding of evangelism, where you confront people with the Bible straight away, here you have to win their relationship, their friendship, their trust first. That means you can't hit them with the Bible over their head, but you have to show and prove to them that they as people are important. And that takes a lot of patience. On the other hand, you need a vision. You need to know where you want to lead them and ask the Lord to show us the way how to do it.
Please pray for this center of influence in Vienna. Pray that they are able to meet the needs of the people in practical and spiritual ways. And pray that their actions continue to paint a picture of Jesus. Thank you for supporting Mission.
We are here in the city of Villejuif. This name means the city of Jews, Jewish city in French. And in fact, we are very close to Paris, in the suburb of Paris. Why we came here? Because this street and this city, and especially this building behind us, has a very strong and meaningful meaning for me, because it was where I was a child. My childhood was here in this street. And in fact, this synagogue was established by my father when I was a child.
Richard was born in Casablanca, Morocco, but it was a difficult country for a Jewish family to live at the time. They relocated to France when Richard was a young boy. His family bought a house in a suburb of Paris, but soon realized there was no Jewish synagogue nearby.
Because we had no synagogue in this city, my father, who was an Orthodox Jew, decided to plant a synagogue. And then he did it first as a home church, a home synagogue, we could say. This synagogue became the official synagogue of this city of Villejuif. And it was here where I have done my bar mitzvah when I was 12, exactly like Jesus in Jerusalem when he was 12. Okay, we are here in front of the school, my school when I was a child. And why this school has some importance for me? Because in fact it was my primary school, and it was in this school I met a friend who introduced me to his father. But his father was a Seventh-day Adventist. Not many Seventh-day Adventists in Villejuif at that time.
It was here that Richard was introduced to the Bible. He would go to his friend's house any chance he could to study the Bible over the next few years. With time, he started to feel a change in his outlook on life.
And then progressively, but it took me about 5 years, I discovered that Jesus was the Messiah of the Bible. And then I gave my life to Jesus. But it was very, very difficult for my family. I remember about 2 months before my baptism, my father called rabbis, many rabbis, to try to convince me not to convert to Adventism. But no argument can compete with what I understood from the Bible. And after this month, when my father discovered that I was decided to be baptized, he said, "You are not anymore my son." And he threw me out from the house. And then I have not seen my father for about 10 years.
There are millions of Jews around the world who have yet to be ministered to by Christians. Since the day he gave his life to Jesus, Richard has been passionate about sharing the gospel with the Jewish people. He became a pastor and lived in Israel for 15 years to study and pastor there. He eventually moved back to Paris to continue his work in reaching the Jewish people. Today, Richard leads a small Adventist Jewish congregation in Paris. This group meets regularly in a small space of what was once an old movie theater. The meetings are meant to bridge the gap between the Jewish faith and the Adventist faith, but they need your prayers.
You know, I have said I was born in a Jewish Orthodox family. And I know that the Jewish people is a people of God from the Bible. But something is missing among the Jews. And what is missing is a knowledge of Jesus. I have discovered Jesus 40 years ago. And since that time, I am in the church. And I try to share Jesus with the Jewish people because I know they need Jesus. I know the second coming of Jesus is very soon. But for that, he needs also the Jews to discover Jesus. And because I have experimented that in my life, I have experimented that the Jews need Jesus, we need to share Jesus with them. And because we want Jesus to come back soon, then we have to do the Jewish ministry. We have to preach the gospel to the Jews.
Please pray for this Adventist synagogue as they continue to grow. Thank you for your support of ministries like this.